Sanchez ran to his truck and then took off and then was immediately arrested after that.
Yeah, they just followed the smoke.
I know. So he wanted
That little dirty Sanchez. Welcome back. You're listening to the wonderful sounds of Inappropriate,
Baltimore's best podcast.
Baltimore's best podcast. I am Jim.
I am Steve.
I think we have like 4 or 5 topics that we are going to just burn right through in the fastest pace possible.
You're going to learn so much so quick.
Of things you never wanted to learn.
Yes.
Speaking of which, what do you got?
I have a dating story about a guy. Have you ever been ghosted?
No. They didn't start ghosting until after I was
probably
engaged.
Wasn't a term. Yeah, I don't think I ever was ghosted, but I got a story about someone who got ghosted, and it's kind of odd what the situation was.
Huh. I have 2 stories. I have a gangster in the streets, and I got a freak in the sheets.
always love freak in the sheets.
And I also will have a story about maybe something you just don't do after you have sex with your partner for the first time. These 7 tips that this gentleman gave his partner after they had sex for the first time.
So for all our ladies listeners.
It's just probably not something you say to your partner.
Speaking of things that you probably shouldn't say to your partner, I had a run-in with my wife.
The dreaded run-in with the wife.
Yeah, the other day.
Wait a minute, the other day? You mean like your birthday weekend?
No, this was a couple. This was not my birthday weekend. Right. When you buy new clothes, do you wash them first always, or do you just kind of put them on and wear them out of the store?
I don't wear them out of the store. I'm not like a 5-year-old with my getting new tennis shoes.
You get home, you got a new shirt.
Do I? On occasion, yes. It is not a requirement.
Okay, to wear the shirt?
No, to wash the shirt before I wear it.
Okay. My wife bought me a new shirt. It says Frat Daddy. It's got a guy riding a moped with a keg on the back.
It's like neon colors.
It's a beach shirt. It's like a beach shirt.
I've seen it.
It was from that store.
Okay, Quiet Storm?
Yes,
okay.
It was from Quiet Storm. We were driving a long distance. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to wear that shirt.
Were you driving or was she
I was driving.
Okay.
Just messing with one of my kids. I was reaching my hand behind my back, like grabbing his foot and just like trying to make him laugh. My wife's like, can you please put your arm down? Your BO stinks so bad today. And I have this weird thing where I hate the way, I'm always worried I smell bad. So I'm like constantly making sure I don't. And that was probably the worst thing. If she said, you have bad BO or I cheated on you yesterday, I would be like, I really have bad BO. It ruined my drive for the rest of the time.
Did you have BO?
I constantly, for the rest of the time, kept smelling myself. And I definitely kind of smelled.
Okay, because my wife, her sense of smell is far superior to like anybody else around me. So if she was like, you have BO, I would almost question if I actually did. Or if just her supersonic smelling, sense.
I see it where it was like the level of...
Right, like she might be picking it up, but there wouldn't be another human around that would pick it up.
Was I just being a little dramatic or...
I mean, I hate to take up for Stephanie. It is not on my to-do list. And if you weren't in a car, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But the fact, I think when you're in a car... the other person has nowhere to go. Yeah. I mean... All
right. I was being a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah. She was trying to actually help you out and probably help herself out.
Yeah. It's more so help herself out, but...
This next gentleman, he might have also been thinking that he was helping his girlfriend out.
I'm excited to hear what this guy said to her.
Before I get to that, real quick, I've had this on my phone to say for like episodes now. And it's just a one-liner, but to me, it's so funny because we talk about nicknames here a lot. Yeah. And I saved this tweet, and I never knew where I'm going to put it in. I just pulled it up accidentally, so I'm just going to read it.
All right.
I heard someone say that in college, they had a friend nicknamed Photo Finish. because he always leaned forward while he was walking.
That's an awesome nickname.
And I just thought that was the best nickname ever. Photo finish.
Yeah,
All right, now moving on. I, 20 female, lost my virginity to my boyfriend, 35 male. It's a little sus from straight from Jump Street.
Yeah. Because when he was 18, she was
3.
The math works out to me.
The sex was pretty awkward and sometimes it hurt, so I had to ask him to stop a bit. He did come, but I couldn't come. Probably due to nerves. Anyway, the next day I woke up to a text from him basically listing the things I did wrong during sex.
Let's try to tastefully tell someone these things. Like in conversation. How would
Okay, yeah. So in number 1, be sexier. Don't be so quiet. Moan and scream.
Honey, you ever see in porns where they're like moaning and being loud, just getting into it? It seems like it gets the guy going.
But they're paid. They're paid to do that.
Yeah, they definitely are paid. But I mean, it gets the people that watch it probably excited. So maybe that's something like. Do you think it would be nice if I was a little bit more vocal while we were having sex?
I wish you would shut up. Yeah. When you're vocal, I can tell how you're feeling.
Yeah.
A little. It closes the feedback loop.
Like that.
Tell me you want it.
Yeah.
Number 2, your head game needs a lot of work in capitals. LOT.
Oh, well, that was number 1.
Look it up.
God,
Period.
That's ballsy to say to somebody.
Oh, no shit.
So this one's kind of tough to approach.
Yeah, because there's not much you can say afterwards. It's only, I think, something you could bring up at the moment.
Yes, you could. You could
Like
in the
steer
moment,
her, or,
you like things to be touched while that's going on.
or if you want her deeper, you just put your hand in the back of her head.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it. Could you do it tactfully?
You can. And on the flip side of that, put me where you want me.
That's how I would feel too. If I'm not doing it right,
I don't
just
want to
tell me what you
hammer
want.
away.
Yeah.
Nilly,
Yeah.
You need to get better at shaving. Son of a bitch.
Jesus.
Does he even like her?
Dude, I know. That's like...
That's mean. You shave with the trimmers, and then say, here, let's give you a design or something. Let's make it fun. Oh, number 5 is a doozy. Don't tell a guy to stop when he's getting into it. It ruins the mood.
There's a lot of guys that get charges when people say stop.
Jesus Christ. There's nothing you can say to that.
No, because I think that
if she says stop, then you change positions or you do what
Yeah, you gotta
whatever.
respect it because otherwise you can get charges for that. So.
And who wants to just hammer away when someone's just in pain?
Yeah.
Because that's the reason you're telling them to stop, because
it's uncomfortable. That was probably the first time she started making noise.
Right. She's trying to get away.
And he's just like...
Something tells me this dude is an abuser.
Yeah, this dude's sucks.
There's a reason why he's going for a 20-year-old virgin at 35.
Yeah, it feels like it's
he's
like
a piece
trophy.
Of shit.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. It's like a fucking trophy. Like all he wants to do is tell his buddies how he banged a virgin.
All right, let's move this thing on.
Yeah.
Do you got something? Or you want me to get into my thug in the streets?
Well, I have a guy who was trying to be a thug in the streets.
Yeah,
but
let's get into that because mine's a little more lighthearted.
So, a man in Albuquerque.
Ooh.
All right, named Armando Sanchez Ortega.
He's trouble.
Who's 46. He was caught calmly walking down the streets of Albuquerque, carrying a red gas can.
He was caught calmly walking with a red gas can.
He was walking down the streets. Cameras picked him up, just walking down the street, carrying a red can.
Not illegal.
Yes.
Car could have ran out of gas.
Car could
could be filling up a lawnmower.
And then he hops a fence into his ex-girlfriend's yard.
A little suspect. So then he
starts to pour said gasoline all over her yard. All right. He's a...
Maybe he's doing some landscaping because a lot of people do burn their grass at the end of the season.
He's Spanish. He's then seen lighting the grass. And what happens when you pour gasoline on it? People tend to think it calmly burns.
People confuse gasoline with kerosene.
Yes. So he then lights the gasoline and the fucking thing explodes.
Of course it does.
And then you can see Armino hopping back over the fence, running away, falling. But this entire time he's trying to get out of the way, he's on fire. So he's running down the street. And he is completely engulfed in flames for setting his girlfriend's house on fire. He had his shirt and shoulders were on fire. So, and it always is crazy to me. Like, what's the thing they've taught you to do?
You stop, drop, and rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll. Why does no one does that?
Because you're on fire. You don't think straight.
I mean, here and then there's a picture of him falling down while he's on fire.
He looks like he's twerking.
I know. He's on all fours.
He looks like he's doing a Beyonce video.
Yes. And everyone just said, that's what you get for trying to...
That's a classic case of fuck around and find out.
I know. Luckily, the...
Did he die?
No, he didn't die.
But she did take him back.
He ran to his truck. What kind of truck did he drive?
Oh, if you say Ford Ranger...
There's a white pickup truck, which I don't know why that would have any bearing, why you would have been able to guess that, but...
Ford fucking Ranger.
I know. His ex-girlfriend was not hurt in it. She just looked out her window and said, what the fuck is going on? And Sanchez ran to his truck and then took off and then was immediately arrested after that.
Yeah, they just followed the smoke.
I know. So he wanted...
That little dirty Sanchez. Pepe Le Pew.
So he wanted to be fucking an arsonist, do that stuff. Have you ever, I don't understand the thought process of crazy people that are trying to, they just want to cause harm to an ex-girlfriend.
I don't get jealous in that aspect. So in the times in my life that I've been broken up with, it's just I move on. I don't want to say I don't care because obviously you do, but
yeah,
I got life going on. I am the prize. So I don't have to go out and feel bad. I just go out and do my thing.
I know. I can always think of after breaking up with someone, I then enter the greatest period of my life, I feel, where you kind of are more carefree. And you're you don't have any obligation. You don't have any obligations to do things, and you're just out and about.
I remember a particular breakup, and somebody I knew had broken up with their long-term partner shortly before. Not a close friend, but a friend that I would see. You can go get depressed, drink, not care for yourself, and try that way, and then 6 months later, when you come out of your stupor, you created 7 or 8 months of work just to get back.
Yeah.
Or you can just be hyper focused on self-care and working out and eating better. And then in 6 months, you're 4 levels above where you were.
Yeah.
And I saw him go the other route, drinking.
Oh, really?
Partying. When that happened to me, I consciously made a decision. I said, I'm just going to work out. I'm going to start running, lifting weights. And then shortly after, I met the love of my life.
So what you're saying is to not set your ex-girlfriend's house on fire.
Well, one, you're going to get caught. It's always the ex.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
I mean, that's the first and only person. Your alibi better be spick and span. God, that was by total accident.
Yeah,
you better have a clean alibi. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and it's after his ex-girlfriend saw who would Sanchez set my house on fire? Like, she knew exactly who it
She
was.
didn't Paul's Netflix. She's like, I got it on the cam.
Yeah. And nowadays everyone has Ring cameras. Everybody has shit. There's cameras everywhere. Like, you
can't do anything.
He was recorded nonchalantly walking down the street with a red gas can.
Like 12 blocks away. I mean, they followed him from his house, basically.
Yeah. He parked his car down the street, and then it was probably the worst mistake of his life because he's on fucking fire, and he's got to run back to his car, and he's not stop, drop, and roll.
Was it like a 2.5 gallon can or like a 5 gallon can?
5 gallon. So
yeah. I mean, so that's you're running about 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's he was just bitter that he parked so far away, and then he paid the price for it when he's on fire. But what's the mindset? I'm gonna go burn this bitch's house down. Like he wanted to commit murder. Like
I know.
I tell you what, he was a thug in the streets. I got a great story. I'm gonna parlay from Dirty Sanchez into this story.
So good.
Oh, I got another one-liner.
All right.
I've been saving this one too. And it's just a headline. The headline says the whole article. Like I don't need to tell you anything else. No matter what the article says, it can't top the headline.
Yeah.
All right. A man is ordered to carry out 75 hours of community service.
Can't even get it out.
after he deliberately farted at police during a strip search and asked them, "How you like that?"
That's awesome.
God damn it. A California neighborhood is finally at peace after a serial slingshot shooter was nabbed. Serial slingshot shooter.
That was good.
After 10 years, a decade of terrorizing the residents, people of Acusa, California, have been dealing with broken windshields, broken windows caused by someone using a slingshot to fire metal ball bearings.
Jesus.
And in some cases, the suspect also nearly struck several people with a slingshot.
That's fucked up.
Over the years, he caused over $10,000 worth of damage in the neighborhood. After a lengthy investigation, police officers located the suspect. 81-year-old Prince King. They located Prince King and took him into custody.
I was going to say, who fucking still uses a slingshot? But now that totally makes sense.
He started his crime spree at 71. Like, homeboy was just bored.
He got broken up with, and he was just like, "What am I going to better myself?" Or, God, he got bored and just started.
And
it's
metal
like,
ball bearings.
I mean, what? For 10 years, he just went out. He's a grumpy old man.
Homeboy just thought he would get away with it after a decade.
Dude, yeah,
he was just taunting him.
Yeah, he was like the Zodiac killer.
He was arrested and charged with 5 counts of felony vandalism and 2 counts of misdemeanor vandalism. And residents say many times they came outside and would find little BBs at their front doors.
It's like he couldn't get away fast enough.
He had to be doing it from like his window or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. If anybody ever wanted to know what happened to Dennis the Menace when he grew up. There he is.
When I was growing up, we had a 3-man slingshot. Did you ever have one of those?
Yes. And
did I tell this story before?
I don't know.
But we would take the 3-man slingshot, and we bought it at the beach. And we brought it home, and we would get drunk and go out, and there was a club like down the street from my buddy's house. I feel like I have told this before.
Probably back on the Jim Joe Steve show.
Yeah.
But
not in this. But what we would do is we would take the 3-man slingshot and hide behind a used car lot and shoot water balloons at people leaving a club that was across the street.
What club was this? Was this the Thunderdome?
No, it was called Lodi. So
Never heard of that one.
you probably would never go in there.
Yeah.
So, we would just shoot. They would walk out, and people would come out, and they would have like a red carpet to go into this place, and it was just a shitty bar in Essex, in the town I grew up in, and we would shoot water balloons across the street. And one night we were doing it and just nailing people. And this place always had fucking cops coming to it. And the cops actually drove around and saw us in the alley. We ran away and ran straight back to the house we were at. which fucking made
top-notch
sense.
criminals.
Yeah, top-notch criminals. So he just followed the truck. The car just pulled up in front of the house.
Casually knocked on your door with his flashlight.
Knocked on my buddy's door. And we were like, fuck. So we go answer the door. And he's just like, hey, what the fuck were you guys doing? And we were like, we have a 3-man slingshot and we were shooting water balloons. He was like, where were you shooting them? We were like, the bar across the street, the Lodi. He was just like, okay. He's like, don't stand behind the used car lot. I thought you were trying to break into it. He was like, have a nice night, guys. Because they fucking hated that place so much.
I know it. That place was eye candy.
Yes.
Or something.
Yes.
Okay.
It was the same building.
Yes. We went in there one time.
Oh, you did? And
with you.
When it was eye candy?
Either it was just opening as eye candy or it was something prior to
Cece's.
Cece's, yes.
Cece's, yes.
It was during the day, like during a Sunday. I think we went to a Ravens game together.
Uh-huh.
And we came home and you didn't want the party to end.
Well, look,
So,
I never do.
There was some local cover band.
Yeah.
And you were just bothering the hell out of the lead singer.
Yeah.
And there may be, let's say, 30 people tops. And the place could probably have hold like 200.
It was a big place.
Yeah, I mean, it was rather large. And it was all open. And I remember there maybe 30 people, including our group of 5. You were hammered. And you were the only one near the stage. You were just yapping in this lead singer's ear as he's trying to sing these cover songs. And
God, such a dick move.
So finally, you kept saying, I know the lyrics. Let me sing. And he gave you the microphone and you froze. You didn't know a single fucking lyric.
Yeah, that fucking happens.
That's the one and only time I've ever went there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I used to go there. I used to go there a lot. One other thing about this place. We were there one time. It was after like a Ravens Steelers game. So, like it was intense. Ravens lost. And there was a guy that was sitting at the corner of the bar. He was a Ravens fan that hates the Ravens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
The guy
where
that
he
just talks shit
talks
constantly.
bad. Yeah. And it was just rubbing us the wrong way. And one of the guys, Lou, I was with, he turns to the guy and yells, he's like, I don't know why you're yelling. You're a fucking pedophile. I start laughing. I'm like, oh man, you called that guy a pedophile. All of a sudden I turn back around. The dude is running with a fucking chair. He's running with a chair. And I go to I stop the chair, but I'm like going back to brace myself for it and to push it. And I pushed my girlfriend that I was dating at the time, and she fucking flew across the room. She flew across the room. Me and the guy were like getting into an argument, kind of one of those like you're just saying shit to each other's face, like
right.
where you're like 2 inches from them, and you're like, fuck you, man, and we're going like, let's go outside, and no one ever really goes outside.
Nobody wants to go outside.
No one really wants to go outside. The bartender there throws him out because he saw him like charge at us for it.
Sure.
And I was like, what the fuck did that guy get so mad for? They're like, oh, he's a pedophile. Like he really was a pedophile, and he called him on his fucking thing, and he got fucking. I was like, did you know that? To my friend Lou, and he was like, oh yeah, I knew that. I was like, what the fuck is that? Essex bars there is no other. If you are in the Maryland area and you're just driving through, visit Essex and just
Any bar.
Any bar and just have a day. You will experience some of the greatest things in your entire life.
Some down home, salt of the earth kind of people.
Yeah, it'll get busy at 9 a.m. when they open.
And we have time for our show closer, The Freak in the Sheets. I hooked up with a guy who seemed very promising. We met on Tinder. He seemed to have a lot of the green flags, and we were getting along really well. He promised a full 40 minutes of sex. He talked a big game about his finger and tongue work.
Oh my God, this guy.
You already know that this guy sucks.
If you gotta talk that up.
Well, it was over in 5 minutes.
Of course it was.
And he couldn't get it up for the next hour. He was apologetic, and it was kind of awkward. I just felt really bad. After about an hour, I just turned around, and he got changed, and I let him out of my building. I go back upstairs. I turn on the lights, and there are shit streaks all over my covers and sheets. I didn't want to instantly blame him, so I even went to the bathroom and checked everything to make absolutely sure. I sat on the floor crying, not sure where to start.
Why did she cry? No, didn't we have another story where the couple had something with
that
shit?
Was, they
were
were
when they
crying.
tried to anal or something like that, and it was
she ripped it out.
Got pegged. He got pegged.
Yeah,
the dude got pegged, and they just shit everywhere.
Yeah,
and they sat on the floor and cried.
Well, shit makes people cry. I messaged him and I said, "Hey, you seem really nice, but I don't think we should hang out again." And I didn't want to not give him a reason. So I said, "You have shit streaks in my bed."
I mean, if you're not going to see him again, you might as well just be completely honest.
He said, "All right." And, and then started insulting me and blocked me on the app.
Oh, that's fucking so... Because he was fucking embarrassed. He had to be embarrassed.
Right. I mean, he was just saving face. He didn't perform. He lasted 5 minutes. He got his rocks off. Couldn't get it back up. And then shit everywhere.
Shit everywhere. I was talking like a sleazy person about my tongue and finger game. He could have got into the 40 minutes using that. So he sucked at that. He was lying about that too.
Yeah, he was just a big talker.
Yeah. And then at what point was he like, I got to shit?
It might have just been bad hygiene.
Yeah.
She might have white sheets. It might get a little loose. Maybe she was on top. Yeah. And rocking them back and forth a little bit, so the ass cheeks spread a little bit. It was straight asshole to sheets,
yeah, and maybe they were like nice feeling sheets, and they just
like nice cotton.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were like cheap cotton, so like a little rougher. Like,
yeah.
And they kind of grabbed it,
yanked it out. I won't go into it this week. I have a good shitting story with someone I know.
And you haven't told this story yet?
I don't think I've told this story.
All right. Next week, we can open the podcast.
All right. It's good.
Okay. I mean, I'm good for a shit story. I mean, every episode, we could throw in a 5-minute shit segment, and I'd be good with that.
Yeah.
Color me intrigued. And we won't even make you wait until the end of the episode. After our opener, boom, we're going to shit all over you.
You're just going to get shit on as soon as you walk in the door.
All right, guys, thank you very much for hanging out. If you did hang out this entire episode, you are the real heroes. And if you care to share, sharing is caring.
Yep.
I'm Jim.
I'm Steve. See you next week.
Test.
Toast.
Hello, everybody. This is Jim from Inappropriate with... Now I'm going to start that over. Pass me the shit. Whew. Welcome back, everybody. This is Jim. I said the same fucking thing.
Same thing.